Alrighty, it is 3 o'clock, and like I said, I want to make sure that I respect and value everyone's time. For everyone that's in here, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Randy Reed, and I am the business developer for Upbrainery Technology. I'm so excited and elated that you're here to share this space with us today. My goal is that you come out knowing more, wanting to know more, and eager to learn more. So this is a 5-week webinar series. We're going to chunk it. However, if you feel that you want to know all of this in one shot, do not feel like inclined to not say or in the chat box or email me or Twitter and say, hey, I would like a demo. We can schedule a demo and I can do that at your convenience. Again, I'm an educator and I know that we love to chunk. So that's why I thought it was best because our platform is so robust and we offer so much beautiful things that in order not to overwhelm you, to chunk it and then for you to internalize it and then for you to ask questions. So each week you will learn more about what we have to offer, and that's my goal. But before we go ahead and start, I want to set up some norms. If you have any questions, please use the chat box, which I call parking lot. All questions will be answered at the end of the webinar because, like I said, I want to respect and I value your time. However, if I continue to see the same question posed, I may stop and answer any questions that you may, this continuation of the same question. I may stop and answer that question. Also, I know we are clearing the list. My goal is to be able to clear as many lists as possible. So therefore, we want to make sure that we spread the wealth around. So there will be opportunities throughout this webinar and each webinar that I will call or I will randomly select a invitee, and they will be able to choose one thing off their list, $30 or less, that we will go ahead and clear their list. There'll be 3 opportunities throughout this webinar. And lastly, again, if you're going through this and you're so immersed and you're wanting to know more, and I know that you're going to want to know more, do not hesitate to schedule a demo. You can email me. You can put your information in the chat box. You can reach out to me on Twitter. You can do any of those 3 things. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So, pieces of me. Who am I? As I stated, my name's Randy Reed, and I'm the business developer for Upbrainery. I'm a mom. Most importantly, before anything, I own that identity. I sit in that identity. I love that identity. I have a 14-year-old son who I'm just smitten with. I love him each and every single day. Just watching him develop, evolve, and grow, and just go through the stages of life is just remarkable. I am an educator. I've been an educator for 13 years. I've taught human anatomy and physiology, PE, health and wellness, biomechanics, kinesiology. I also develop curriculums for health and wellness for grades K through 12 online charter school. And lastly, I was the dean of students. One thing about me that I am a stickler about, and I've been holding myself accountable to this probably the last 13 to 14 years of my life, I'm a life learner. Every single day, I have to learn something new. I don't care how minute, how small it is, I have to learn something new. The same level of excellence that I hold my students to, that's the same level of excellence that I hold myself to. If I'm not learning something, then I'm stagnant. If I'm not stagnant, I'm not growing. If I'm not growing, I'm not evolving. So that's one thing that I hold myself accountable to, and everyone that's in my circle also do that. At least for me, they hold me accountable. They'll, even when they talk to me, like, hey, did you learn something new today? I'm like, yeah, I learned how a rose smelled. Like I have to learn something so that I can continue to evolve and grow as a person. What I'm passionate about, other than being a mother, I'm passionate about students attaining a quality, equitable education, no matter the zip code, no matter where they are, which side of town, where they are. Everyone should be afforded an equitable, quality education. Throughout my 13 years tenured of being in education, I was Title I. That's definitely a labor of love. That is truly a labor of love. I would always tell my teachers, we do this for a passion, not a paycheck. Don't get me wrong. We love a good paycheck, but we're not in this to become a millionaire and be a millionaire. We do things, or we did things, or I did things to supplement, because I've kind of pivoted. I'm not in education, well, brick and mortar anymore. I'm still a part of it, but just not in brick and mortar. We do things to supplement incomes because we understand that, like, for me, my thing was seeing that light come on. My thing was those aha moments. My thing was the smile. Them being able to understand, them knowing their level of excellence, them believing in themselves, and me helping them to achieve their goal. And if there is generational curses or hexes, me helping to eliminate and remove that. So that's why I'm so passionate about that. And that what makes Upbrandery so special, because it takes my mission and vision and with their mission and vision, and we kind of aligned. And so it's just like, I never thought I would walk away from being an educator, but when you walk into a company and a curriculum as beautiful as this, it's almost like you just pivot and you're just walking into excellence. So enough about me. We're going to go ahead and, I'm sorry, we're going to go ahead and clear the list. So we have our first invitee. We're going to go ahead and randomly select someone that will clear the list. Let's see who we have. We have about 15 seconds on the clock before my uh, thing chooses, and then we'll tell who it is. Okay, let's see. The spin is spinning. The spin is spinning. Let's see. It's really quiet. All right. 10 more seconds. I know the anticipation is killing us. So our first clear the list is Mrs. Emmy. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. EMME. If you can, in the chat box, send me your information or send me your wish list or something on your wish list. $30 or less. We're going to clear your list for you. We will clear your list for you, Miss Emmy. You are our first. Clear the list. Find something on your list, $30 or less, and we will clear that list for you today. We're going to go ahead and keep it moving. Congratulations to Miss Emmy. Again, I don't know if that's your name or that's what you signed on, but that's who just won the first Clear the List. So, what, who, where, why, when is Upbrandery? Upbrandery was founded in 2020 by Mrs. Hazel Kushaway. Our purpose is to deliver hyper-focused teaching pathways and insight into a student's educational experience. We focus on data-driven and machine learning coupled with our platform to provide an individualized, customized learning journey for each student. We definitely believe that learning is not a one-size-fits-all approach. We definitely believe that you just can't put a blanket on kids and say, hey, you got it. We understand that learning has to be robust, it has to be engaging, it has to be fun, but it has to be individualized. And that's what Upbrandery offers. That's our purpose. And then our mission. Our mission is to educate and build better brains through artificial intelligence project driven learning. We aim to transform education by expanding accessibility while creating exposures. Our strength lies within our educational technology tools that have enabled numerous students, educators, and parents to learn up skills via our EdTech platform known as Brain Lab. So this is what I've always told my students. Every student's not going to go to college, and I'm okay with saying that. However, every student should be educated to become a productive citizen of society. They should be able to have skills to be able to develop, to be able to evolve, to be able to function in society. And those skills should not be cultivated and created once they enter into 11th grade, 12th grade. Those skills should start to be cultivated and developed in first grade, kindergarten, second, and built upon and mastered, right? So a student can kind of go through and get exposed in something and say, okay, no, I didn't like this. Or a student can get exposed to, let's say, engineering and be like, oh my goodness, I love this, and cultivate it and continue to hone on those skills. So by the time they get to high school, they know what they're doing, and it's a platform, it's a springboard. So what we do is we start embedding and implementing these platforms and these tech tools and all that we have to offer as early as kindergarten. So we build upon and it continues to develop. Okay. I'm just waiting for my screen to come back on. So the first thing a student does once they log on is they're going to get their interest profiler. From their interest profiler, they'll be able to put their name, they'll have their email, they'll go through that. As you see on the interest profiler, you'll get your learning clusters. Again, like I said, this is a 5-week webinar, so we're going to chunk this and we're going to break it down to where we'll be able to understand everything. Today, you see this image. If you're like, okay, this snapshot really is intriguing, again, if you want to schedule a demo, we can schedule a demo and we can go more in depth. But today we're just talking about specifically the interest profiler. You see, once the student logs on, you see the timeline, the agenda, colleges, careers, and badging. Our system does implement micro credentialing and badges as well. But what we want to focus on today, if you look right here to this top right, you see this circle right here. That circle right there is a RISIC. The students are going to take a RISIC Career Readiness Assessment. So you're probably wondering like what that is. So I'm going to go ahead and this is what students will see. They'll go ahead and they'll begin to take that assessment. And I'm going to wait for it to load. What I love about the assessment, yes, is 60 questions, but we know that students now currently, their attention span isn't that long. They like to get straight to the point and then go, right? So we're asking these quick questions. Develop a new medicine. Do you like they're asking these questions that are short and to the point. And it's doing it to what they are interested in and what they like. So we know that students, they're on their cell phones 24 hours of the day. Okay, maybe not 24, 23. But the emojis is something that they're used to. If you have a son, a daughter, a niece, a nephew, a student, we know that they text literally by emojis. So they're going through this. So it's not like likely, yes, likely, no, maybe. They see strongly dislike, like, unsure, like, strongly like. So they're able to navigate through these assessment and be able to answer it with fidelity and integrity because they're answering the questions and it's like, okay, yeah, I really understand what I'm doing. But what I really took a snapshot of this for is because you see the word skip. If a student skips this question and they get to the end of the assessment, and let's say they have 55 out of 60 questions answered, they will not be able to submit that question. They won't be able to submit it because every single question has to be answered. So once the student goes through and they take the assessment, then they'll be able to create their career pathway. But before we get into that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to clear the list again. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and take my spinner. And you all saw how long it took the first time. So right about 20 more seconds. And our winner is, I do apologize if I'm pronouncing this incorrectly, Nika, N-E-K-A, Nika. You are our second Clear the List winner. So again, you drop your name in the chat box or you email me or we make sure that we align and we connect. We will purchase anything on your list that's $30 or less. Again, you send us your list, you tell us what you want, but it must be $30 or less. So we have Emma, Emmy, E-M-M-A, and we have Nika, N-E-K-A. Congratulations to those two educators. Now we're going to continue to keep on just progressing through. So we went ahead and we discussed the interest profiler. The students take the assessment. And this is the next part. So we see job preparations. You see little or no, some, medium, high, and extensive. So the students can be able to decipher like, okay, so if I want to do something that has little or no, it says some of these careers may need a high school diploma, GED certificate. And then it talks about experience. Then if we look at medium, it says most of these careers need vocational school training or on-the-job experience or an associate's degree. And then if we look at extensive, we see that it says most of these careers need a graduate school education, for example, a master's, JD, PhD, or MD. So then the students have that on their platform and they're able to decipher and go through, all what they need and what they want. And then the final piece of this is where they get to the careers. And I like to say students' voice, students' choice. The student is able to navigate and expose themselves to different careers and different pathways and different clusters. As you can see, it says library science teacher, mathematical science teacher, medical science teacher, music therapist, neuropathic physician. The students have the autonomy to be able to navigate through all of that. They can expose themselves to different courses and say, okay, nope, I didn't like that, or yes, I did like that. Let me build upon that. That is the beauty of our interest profiler. For me, what I tell my teachers, for grades K through 5, they should be taking this RISIC assessment every year. For grades 6 through 12, I say at the beginning of semester 1 and then at the beginning of semester 2. Again, the autonomy is all up to the teacher. But for me and my experience with me just dealing with students and learning about and knowing about the platform and the curriculum, I would say K through 5 once a year, 6 through 12 twice a year. So I'm going to go ahead and pause before we go any more. Do we have any questions about what anyone has saw any in the last few minutes? Any questions about anything? Any questions? Okay. So again, I know that we're internalizers and you're probably kind of going through it and you're probably like, this is what Upbrainery is. At any point or any time you have any questions, or if you would request a demo, and like I said, you don't want to wait to go through the 5-week webinar, and you really want to immerse yourself in it because it's something that you think would be beneficial for your students, something that you want to roll out into your school, we can do a demo and talk further. So since there aren't any more questions, we're going to have one more. What do you think it's going to be? We're going to have one more clear the list. Why not? Hold on. I think my computer got a little bit too excited too. We're going to have one more clear the list. And our last teacher, educator, definitely not, we save the best for last, is Mrs. Let's see. Hold on, it started, then it stopped. 10 more seconds. Mrs. Lori, forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, Tetchler. Again, like I said, we will get 30 item off of your list for $30. $30 or less. Anything that, even if it's 2 or 3 items, whatever it is, it has to equate to $30. So let's say you have like 5 items that's under 30. It doesn't have to be one item. It just has to be under $30. I'm sorry if there was many. Let me clarify that. Anything has to be under. How do I get to try out this platform? Emmy, what you can do is we can connect. You have my email. We can schedule a demo and we can talk about further in there. We can talk about trying it out as well as things like that. Let's see. Before we go, there's one quote that I used to always have in my office. You don't understand anything until you learn it more than one way. And I believe in it, and that's by Minsky. I believe in this quote, and this is what this platform does. Like I said, this quote was my quote before I came on with this company. But this quote is it embodies this platform because it believes in individualized learning for each and every single student. It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all approach. It's a robust curriculum. It's engaging, impactful, and fun. We're taking artificial intelligence, and that's coming up in our future webinar. We're taking artificial intelligence and teaching teachers and students how to do it with fidelity and integrity. And it's an amazing curriculum. And it is my hope that each of you all can come and do the 5-week webinar or do the demo. But again, thank each of you all for attending today's webinar. You all could have been anywhere else, but you chose to spend this time with me and Upbrainery, and I am greatly appreciate that. Mrs. Emmy, Lori, and Nika, do not forget to connect with me. I do see my email in the chat box. And Emmy, if you email me, or you can also take my direct telephone number. I'm putting that in the chat box as well. I'll be available as well for the phone call. And Emmy, I look forward to connecting with you and allowing you to learn more about all what Upbrainery has to offer. I hope you all had a great afternoon, and I look forward to seeing each and every single one of you to next week, same time, same place. Thank you. You all have a great day.